In 1983, the Compaq Computer Corporation released its first portable IBM PC compatible computer. With its integrated keyboard, 9-inch green screen monochrome monitor, two 5¼ floppy drives, power supply, and 5 ISA interface slots. At just under 13 kilograms, no wonder it needs its own handle. This one is missing its brightness selector. So let's open it up, fix what we need to, and review and mod Compaq's first portable computer. To gain access to the top of the computer, we first need to remove these 5 plastic clips, which reveals a caution label and a guide to our screen controls. Preparing our sockets, let's open up the access plate to the ISA interfaces to see which cards are installed. This one is the SixPakPlus memory expansion and input-output card, which can be configured with up to an additional 384K of RAM, a real-time battery backed-up clock calendar, a parallel printer port, a game adapter port, and an RS-232C asynchronous serial port. Reviewing the switch settings, switch 1, 2 and 3 control the expanded memory start address, which in this case is memory address 256K. Switches 4, 5 and 6 control the size of the expanded memory, which again in this case is 64K, and we can confirm this as there are 8 64K 1-bit RAM chips installed. Switch 7 isn't used. Switch 8 controls memory parity, which uses extra RAM to provide error correction, ensuring memory integrity. So let's replace the battery for the clock calendar and clean up the interface connectors ready for installation and testing later. The next 2 interface cards are secured externally and can be accessed via this sliding door. This one appears to be a video card, as there's a composite video and RGBI connector. And it's connected to the monitor. However, we seem to have a loose wire. Disconnecting that for now, let's have a look at this interface card. It was made by the Compaq Computer Corporation in 1982, and with its manually written serial number and assembly number, here confirms this is a VDU or Video Display Unit interface card. We already know this is the connection to the internal monitor. This one is for a light pen, and this is an RF modulator connector. So let's give it a quick clean and fix that loose connection. Given it's connected to the dual floppy drives, this final card will be our floppy drive interface, which is confirmed here. However, it's also a parallel printer board with this connector we would have seen previously. Again, this board was manufactured by the Compaq Computer Corporation in 1982, so let's clean this one up too ready for testing later. So let's jump into our first montage, where we remove the top panels to review the monitor and power supply enclosures and prepare our floppy drives for removal before disassembling the base to remove the motherboard. The motherboard has an AMD 8088 CPU running at 4.7 MHz. We have 5 ISA interfaces and 4 banks of RAM. Default banks 0 and 1 have 8 64K 1-bit chips, totaling 128K. Expansion banks 2 and 3, which also have 8 64 1-bit chips, totaling 256K. And if we include the 64K RAM we identified on the SixPakPlus, that's a massive 320K. Here we have the system ROMs, the speaker and brightness connector, and the input power rail, which receives plus and minus 5 and 12 volts. And finally, we have the keyboard connector. The board looks in great condition with no damage traces or compromised components. And for our next montage, let's clean our disk drives up and fix them where we need to. Moving our focus to the keyboard, this is secured to the front bezel with 2 sliding clips. Turning the keyboard over provides access to 6 securing screws, which allows us to unclip the keyboard case, remove the keyboard cable, and plastic casing for cleaning. Although the stitched leather handle appears to be in good condition, the metal fastenings are not. So let's remove it and see what we can do later. removing the securing nut and screw from the top and base plastic panels, including the sliding access panels. So we can remove the front bezel and prepare all 9 plastic panels for cleaning. Having removed over 40 years of dust and grime, let's clean up the screen, ready for our final reassembly montage. Now it's all cleaned up and fixed. Let's add some power and turn it on. It's working. However, the keys are not. So let's get back to that montage and fix this keyboard. Now the hardware is fixed, let's look at the Compaq software, which, should you need, I've made available for download. The link is in the description. Reading the instructions, we can inspect our Compaq Portable using the diagnostic diskette. Booting from the floppy disk in the A drive provides the Inspect option. So, pressing 1 to continue. This confirms we have a Compaq Portable, the 8088 processor, we don't have a coprocessor, and the ROM is revision C. The next page confirms we have two 360K floppy drives. Our primary internal monitor has an 80-column high-resolution video display controller, and our base memory is 320K, which we saw previously. So, what we need now is a modern hard drive mod, like this Compaq Flash XT to IDE BIOS card. Making sure we set the pins to IO address 300 and ROM address C800. Let's install it in our spare ISA slot. Insert our Compaq Flash card and using our startup disk, let's run the fixed disk setup program. Create a new DOS partition and make it primary. Then, after a reboot, let's format the new C drive with the /S parameter so it copies over the system files to make it bootable. Then, using the USB to Compaq Flash adapter, let's download a newish DOS game, in this case Pesky Robots, to our modern PC. Copy it over to our Compaq Flash card and boot up the Compaq Portable.